Hey guys, I don't think the good Lord wants me to make this video for you. This is the third time I've tried it. I promised a while back that I was going to make a video showing how to make the sourdough starter that I use for the sourdough bread in the videos that I've made. Well, what I decided to do was I was going to show you how I make the starter that I use, but I would also turn this into a little experiment and try to make a different starter that I've seen other people make. I think they call it a San Francisco sourdough, but I'll show you mine. Then I'll show you the experiment that I'm going to go through to make the other kind of starter. So my starter I got from my aunt, and I'm making the starter based completely on the recipe that she uses to feed the starter. So that's all a starter is a fermenting. It's fermenting sugar, just like you were going to make alcohol. It is an alcohol, but I'm going to make a starter using her recipe, and that's simply, I've got a mason jar here, I've got a canning funnel, I've got 3 tablespoons, and these measurements aren't exact. You're just trying to get these sugars in these ingredients to start fermenting using wild yeast. So I'm using 3 tablespoons of potato flakes, and I don't have the box with me anymore. It's the dried mashed potato flakes. Then I've got 3/4 cups of sugar, and then 1 cup of lukewarm water. And I'm going to give that a good stir. And then I'm going to take a paper towel, a ring for the jar, and I'm going to seal that up. The paper towel will let through any yeast and any of those microbials, but we'll need to stir that a couple times throughout the day, and every day we'll go through this same exercise. Add a cup of water, 3/4 cups of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of the potato flakes, and then after the second day we'll have to remove half and then add to it, and after 3 or 4 or 5 days you'll start seeing the fermenting process, and you'll know that because the yeast colony will start bubbling. But we'll get to that. I'll come back tomorrow and show you the next step. So what I want to do also is I want to make my experimental starter. I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it pretty much the same way. The only difference is the ingredients. I'm going to use a cup of bread flour and equal amounts of 1 cup of lukewarm water. And I'll stir that up real good. Stir that up a little better off of camera, but I don't want to screw this one up. Same thing, paper towel, a ring, and I'm going to keep these in a nice dry warm spot, probably on top of the refrigerator, and probably one more time this evening I'll stir it up. In the morning I'll stir it up, and in about 24 hours I will, for both of these starters, I'll go through the same exercise. For day 2, I'll add another amount, which will bring the level up to 3/4 of the way. Day 3, I will remove half of it and then add ingredients. And then, I'll just keep a good eye to make sure that once the fermenting starts, then and you can go through this exercise several days in a row. Once you get a good colony, you'll see the fermentation start. Then you'll know you've got a good colony. Then you can apply the starters to whatever recipe you're going to use. And the recipe that I use for this one is different. It's going to make a single loaf, where the recipe that I use for the other starter, it makes 3 loaves. So refer back to those those videos for the recipe for that. But anyways, that's how we do it, and I'll show you more on day 2. Thanks, guys.